Good day, folks. Hope everybody's having a wonderful day so far. We are getting ready to explore Redkey, Indiana. Now, Redkey, Indiana is located in in the eastern middle region of Indiana. It is a small farming community, basically located 52 miles south of Fort Wayne. Fort Wayne is going to be the closest metro area to here, and it is also 12 miles southwest of Portland, Indiana, and it's 5 miles from Dunkirk, Indiana, which I have every last one of those videos on this channel. So if you're interested, you can go back on this channel after this video and check out any of those or all of those other videos. And for those of you that are considering sending your son or your daughter to Ball State University, or maybe you yourself might be considering Ball University, whether it be for education or for employment, Muncie, Indiana is not super far from here. Just in case you were considering moving out here. Now the population here is sitting at 1,100 people, and it has experienced a 18.7% population decline as of the 2020 census. The population used to be 1,353 people during the 2010 census. Now, this community has been losing people since the 1970 census. The only time between 1970 and the 2020 census that this small community has gained people was during the 2000 census, which back in 2000 the population was 1,427 people. And the population peaked at 2,206 people all the way back in the 1900 census. So, and I'll give you guys a brief history of this community. Now, Redkey was named after James Redkey, who developed in addition to the town during the building of the railroad in 1867. Before this, the town was known as the Raid Settlement. It's known as the Raid Settlement because of the family of Josiah Wade, who settled here in 1836. Before the town was named Redkey, it was named Mount Vernon. Mount Vernon was a village developed by William H. Wade, Josiah's son. He developed this village in 1854. So since there was already a town in Indiana with the name of Mount Vernon, the town's name changed to Redkey. Redkey was incorporated in 1883. So in a nutshell, the original name of this town, it was known as the Raid Settlement due to the Raid family settling here. And then after the Raid Settlement, the name then changed to Mount Vernon. But since it has been discovered that there was already a Mount Vernon, Indiana, before this community developed, the name then changed from Mount Vernon to Redkey. Now, as far as it goes for the racial makeup, it is over 99% white, for those of you that want to know the racial makeup. Now, both your property crime and violent crime is fairly low. I mean, property crime is only sitting at 2% above national average. So that's not bad at all. And the median rent prices here are $510 to $980 a month. The median home prices here, I mean, housing here, if you can find one, is relatively affordable. The median housing price is $100,000. However, the cheapest house you're going to find out here is going to run you $139,000. Now, as you guys will see a little later in this video, there is a piece of land out here that's for sale. I do not know how much money that they want, but this piece of land that's for sale, you're not going to find it on the MLS. You're not going to find it on realtor.com. It's one of those, if you want to know more about this lot, you're going to have to drive out here yourself and check it out. I mean, just by the looks of the lot, I'm going to assume it's probably at least an acre. I'm not exactly sure. And there's also another lot that is on realtor.com out here that's for sale. It sits on 0.76 acres, which is close to an acre. Well, I mean, it's a little over 3/4 of an acre. And they're asking, if I can remember clearly, they're asking around $20,000 for it. So, basically, in a nutshell, that's what you got going on here in Redkey as far as housing is concerned. I mean, there's not a whole lot to choose from as far as if you're looking just to buy an actual house. There's not really a whole lot to choose from because it is a small town. And I will now, as you guys will also see, I mean, you may have seen it already. Now, this town does have, now parts of this town is a little, bit ran down. You do have a few rough roads. You do got a fair amount of houses that are not kept up at all. They're unkept. Some of them are dilapidated. I'm going to say it like that. However, I've talked to a couple of people that live out here, and they tell me that this community is relatively quiet and low key. I've asked them about the crime. They all say that the crime is low. It's just that, I mean, I don't know. I'm just assuming that this is one of those type of small towns to where it's quiet, it's safe. You just have a lot of old structures that no one is living in. And they're just sitting and slowly deteriorating because there's nobody there to attend to the structures. Which is sad, but it is what it is. And I've driven through small towns like this. And like I've told you guys before, in fact, I told you guys this fairly recently on one of my videos I made within the last week. If you're looking for an affordable way to live in a small town and own a home that sits on a decent sized lot, I mean, communities like this are the perfect communities to go to and check out. Because sometimes you might, if you're driving through, you might find a home that's for sale by the owner. I mean, that they may not have it listed nowhere. All they have is a sign sitting on the front yard or sitting on, maybe posted up on a tree. And that's one of the reasons why I like to drive through communities like this. As I told you guys, I love these small towns. I love them with a passion, for the most part. I just like how I like how they look. I just like them. I mean, I can't really put in words how much I enjoy driving through these small towns. And not only do I enjoy driving through these small towns, but I also enjoy looking at these houses. And if I had my realtor license, I wouldn't mind coming out here and giving you guys a tour of the inside of some of these houses. But I'm not a realtor, don't have my license, and I don't want to be accused of trespassing and then get arrested and go to jail. So I try to stay out of people's way. And I just do my driving around like I'm doing right now. But yeah, I would say this. I mean, for those of you that are looking to move to Redkey, I mean, you know, I went on niche. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any comments about Redkey. I mean, there was one comment, and they didn't really say much, but they did give the community a 5-star. Basically, what they said was they like the fact that this is a small town. People know each other. It's nice and quiet, and people apparently here come together. Typical small town characteristics. Which, again, I find that to be very refreshing. So yeah, I would say if you're looking for a small town and you're looking to live in eastern Indiana, despite the fact that some of these houses might be a bit, despite the fact that some of these streets are a bit ran down, I still would drive out here and give it a check, give it a look. Now, of course, as you guys saw, there are areas out here in Redkey that are a little better kept, where the houses are a tad bit newer. But like I said, if you're looking for small town living and you haven't had any luck finding anything within your price range, and you're looking to live in Indiana, you might want to come check this community out. I mean, now, many YouTubers that make videos like this, they might tell you, oh no, don't come out here. This town is no good. It's ran down. Look at all the roads that are bad. Look at all the dilapidated structures. You know, you buy a house out here, you're not going to get your money. Equity's going to be bad. On and on and on. Now, I'm weird. I mean, I'm going to tell you guys flat out, I am weird. And what I mean by that is, I don't necessarily do things that other people do. When it comes to buying a house, when it comes to looking at houses, I tend to take a slightly different approach than many people take. Like when I buy a house, I don't focus on equity. I focus on, do I like the community? Do I like the house? Does the house possess the characteristics I look for, whether it be the square footage or the lot size? Is the community safe? Is it within my price range? If it checks at least 90% of those boxes, and I'm in the market to buy a house, I'm probably going to buy the house. Because I'm not buying the house for an investment. I'm not buying the house for the purpose of an investment. I'm buying the house for personal purposes. Like, I'm going to buy the house, I'm going to move in, and it's going to be my home. It's going to be where I come at the end of the day to get away from the rest of the world. You know, I'm not, because to me, there's a difference between looking at a house for investment purposes versus looking at a house for personal reasons. Like when I look at a house for a personal reason, I don't follow the traditional ways, if you will, of buying a house. And I don't mean to brag, but Anymore, when I buy a house, I don't even pay a mortgage. If I can't afford to pay cash, I don't buy. Now, it took me a shitload of years and a lot of hard work and sacrifices for me to get to that point where I can just look at a house and pay cash and keep it moving. Now, granted, I'm gonna be very clear on one thing now. The type of houses now, since I am a cash, whenever I buy a house, since I do pay cash, the houses that I buy are not gonna be that big. They're not gonna be that fancy. You know, it's not gonna be anything that you're gonna see on some type of real estate, on some type of mainstream real estate program. Now, I'm not saying that the houses I buy are ugly. I'm not saying that either. I'm just saying that when I buy a house, I don't follow the traditional measures of buying a house. I mean, I don't. I mean, hopefully, I'm making sense to you guys. So, I'm a kind of person that I will tell you, yes, if you're looking for affordability, small town living, quiet, safe, all that good stuff, you know, not too far from the cities, yes, I am the YouTuber that will tell you to come out to communities like this and look at houses. And I'm probably one of the few YouTubers that will give you that kind of advice. And as I've told you before on this channel, I don't just tell you stuff and then I do it myself. I do it myself too. I mean, me personally, I would prefer a community like this over any major city any day. And by the way, the people that I spoke to did seem very nice. So at this point, I don't have no bad vibes about this community at all. Yeah, I'll take a community like this over any city. And that's going to do it for my commentary. So if you like what I put out, you like the channel, you want to see more videos like this, go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed already. If you want to support me, which I appreciate everyone who does support me, it's very easy. All you gotta do is give this video and videos like this a thumbs up. And on that note, stay blessed and everybody for those of you that celebrate Easter, have a happy Easter. I'll catch you guys on the next one.